Greetings, my friends, and welcome. Greetings, my friends, and welcome to the program. This is the Creator Entrepreneur Podcast. We're about ideas, influence, impact, and income. And today we're going to talk about one word. And we're also going to talk about, is God's name Howard? Maybe it's a little bit of a lighter touch. I was going to do this program yesterday, but here in the United States of America, it was a rather tumultuous day. And obviously anything that we would say would be drowned in all of the news of the day. And secondly, to make it even more unusual for me as a person who does all of their work digitally around the world, the internet was out the entire day here in Tucson, Arizona, in my Studio 77 room. And so I'm here today. And that is the program. Still, whatever is happening out there, remember, we still have life and business to do. The political situation is always a bit of an illusion, and sometimes we just need to have a little lighter touch to what's all about us, and that's what I'd like to do today. A fun little story about, is God's name Howard? And then perhaps something that would be helpful and useful in these turbulent times, and that is 2021, once again, the power of one word. Again, my name is Stan the spokesman, and I'm glad that you will listen in. The program begins right now. For your time. All right. Most of us who've had any instruction, particularly in things of theology at all, know that there are studies that go about, and they are about the name that is given to God. Now, if you are in the Jewish tradition, that's a whole very, very powerful idea in terms of God's name being so unique and special that, in effect, you never write the complete name of God. And you're even very careful about pronouncing it. And that is a tradition. Now, within the Christian tradition, there are things such as, what did Jesus call God? Well, I think many of you know. The word, it seems, is Abba, which is somewhat like Daddy. And then many of you may know that there are other things that go into the name of God. Obviously, the word Jehovah, or as it is a configuration from the word Yahweh, that is a very important name. In the Holy Scriptures, oftentimes the term is just Lord, or the Lord God. But there are other names that are given to God. And perhaps you've had some lessons and learning in that. Well, as I mentioned in my last video radio program, I have the ability to come across books that at first glance, they're used and old, and why would you ever pay any attention to them? But I oftentimes find that kind of a sixth sense says buy them. And my wife did that for me the other day when she picked up a book at the consignment shop, the thrift shop where she works doing charity work, as all of the revenue from this incredible consignment shop goes to less fortunate people throughout our community. It's a wonderful, wonderful work. And the book she brought home, which she paid a full $1 for, was How to Pray After You've Kicked the Dog. How to pray after you've kicked the dog. And I guess what that's all about is what all of us maybe even have experienced in our lives, and we are so angry, so upset that we just lash out. And we may not even kick the dog, though we might have, but we've kicked out, yelled out, screamed out, and blame somebody else for our troubles. Well, how do you pray after you've done something so rotten as kicking a dog? How do you pray after you've blamed somebody else excessively and unwarranted for the problems in your life? Well, that began the story, and it turns out to be that's a great cover headline for the book, but what it led to is a real significant study in the fact that this is true. Without prayer, nothing really works. May I say that again? Without prayer, nothing really works. And what happened yesterday is something that has happened many times. And it wasn't just yesterday. A group of people may have gotten out of control, but that's happened all year in 2020. And what has it led to? Well, without prayer, nothing works. And in one of the little sidebars in the book, the little boy said, "Why do we call God Howard?" And the father said, "What do you mean?" "Well, I learned the prayer in Sunday school, and it's Howard be thy name." I think you get it. Howard be thy name. Why do we call God Howard? I just think that's kind of funny. But you know what? That would be rather a unique way for some of us to view this relationship. What if you could give God your name? Just between you and God, you had a conversation, and you have a secret, an affectionate, a majestic, a praise name. Just between you and God. What do you want him to call you? And what would you call him? I think God would smile at calling him Howard. Hallowed be thy name, Howard. May I just, in a brief moment of lightness, say that what God wants us to be is on a first-name basis. That's a part of how life will go well, is that you and God are on a first-name basis. You talk a lot. You listen a lot. A woman who's mentored me in her book called Jesus Calling says, in effect, you have to be thinking almost in a continual way throughout the day, I'm in the very presence of God. And in all situations, I'm somewhat aware of His presence and His help and His power and its availability to me. And I think 2021 and what obviously came from 2020 would be a good way for all of us to begin to realize that maybe, as step one says, you're not going to get out of the mess you're in by yourself. It is a power much greater than you that you need. And we ought to give perhaps just that kind of resolution to how we might do 2021 different and better. And that's my one word. Hey, we've got more to say. Thank you for giving me these 10 minutes. We just have a few more minutes left. As I talk about the power of one word, I hope you'll stick around and we'll finish it out on this difficult day. as these difficult times do continue. I'm Stan Houston. The program is called The Creator Entrepreneur. It's ideas, it's influence, impact, and true income. You can reach out to me because I believe I can help you. I'd love to get in contact with you. I would love to have you on this program. StanHouston@gmail.com. StanHouston@gmail.com. One word is next. It is actually a practice that I came about a number of years ago when I was doing a lot more performance coaching. I guess I kind of stuck with it for a while, and then I kind of let it go. But then recently, my wife, who is a fan of a woman's writer, and her name is Debbie Macomber, and she's kind of a romantic romance writer, a woman of deep spiritual insight as well. And she's written a book about taking with you one word for the year. And I was reminded of that. And then Bob Tiede, who does a number of good things with what is called Leading with Questions, and I get his work on occasion, and he said just the other day, what is your one word for 2021? And he put forward the same idea based on some of his coaching and some of the colleagues in his organization and in his collegial fellowship, that it's really good to approach the year with just one word, because you see, a can-do or will-do resolution simply doesn't last very long. That's right. Yes, people are still working out at the gym, but most of them will stop around February. Our resolutions, which are our resolves based on our willpower, which is usually not very powerful, usually fade away. And so that's why we do the same resolutions every year. And at the end of the year, we perhaps aren't any closer to the goals and the intentions we had. But it might be easier to take the advice of St. Paul Entrepreneur, who simply says, fill your mind with good stuff. Fill your mind with good things. Listen to good podcasts. Read good books. Listen to wise people. People with real wit. First of all, hopefully they have a little sense of humor. Wit, but along with that they have wisdom, insight, and truth, and just listen to them. And as one of my mentors said, if you hear something really good, listen to it again. And if it's really good, listen to it again. And if it could be life-changing, listen to it 7 times. And then it will seep deep into your subconscious, even though you may not know it. And it could be actually within the last 4, 5, 6 listens. You really aren't paying attention, but your incredible mind is. And who knows what that one word might do, or that good word might do. So, the encouragement for all of us is, in 2021, what's your one word? Well, I'd love to hear your one word. In fact, if you just want to share it with me, perhaps you even want to give a talk on it, I'd love to hear it. Maybe phone it in to me, or take your smartphone and do a little audio recording and send it to me at stanhouston@gmail.com. And if we get enough good ones, we will actually tell us what your word is and why you chose that word. I would love to hear that, and I'll play them back. Okay, what is your one word? Well, I'm going to tell you this. My one word for this year is simple. Better. Better. Now, there's some reasons for that. With a smile, when someone said Happy New Year to me, I just kind of stopped and said, "Thank you, but I'll settle for better." And of course, after going through, as what most of you've gone through in 2020, better would be really better. Here's some suggestions. Once you've chosen your word for 2021, make it visible. Write it down. Paste it on your mirror. Paste it on your computer. Paste it on your steering wheel so that you see it all the time. Suggestion number 2. Every time you need to make a decision in 2021, make your one word part of your consideration. Is saying yes consistent with your one word? Or is saying no consistent with your one word? So use that one word in your decision making. That doesn't mean that obviously it totally guides and guards your decision, but your one word may be considered. Request. Please share your one word for 2021 by entering it in the comment section below, my friend Bob says. But here's my suggestion. Just share it with a friend and ask them, what would be your one word for 2021? And if you have a leadership team, why don't you let them know that this is their assignment for the next staff meeting for 2021, and you're going to ask them to share their one word. Now, they may or may not then give a reason for it or a story for it. They can do that. Keep it short, keep it sweet, make it smile, make us smile, or perhaps you just want to create some mystery. And just give us the word and let us wonder about it. Remember, mystery with authenticity is great power. Create a little bit of mystery in your life and business in 2021. I'm done. No, God's name is not Howard. Maybe it is to you. So think about that. You have a lot of conversation with God planned in 2021. What's the sweet word or the sweet name you'll give him? And what is your one word for 2021? Make it a good word. And may you be blessed. Because the thing I would encourage you all, whatever you do, is part of the way it will be a better 2021 if you try to make it a point of leaving a blessing with everybody who comes by and clears your path. I wonder what might happen to you if you would resolve to be a blessing in 2021. Just let that sit on your head for a while. If you listen to a good podcast every day for 20 minutes, you will be a world-class expert. Soon! Well, I'd like to believe that when I do 20 minutes, it's worthwhile to you and you're better off for it. I oftentimes say my hope is you'll learn more here by accident than most places by design, and maybe that happened today. I'm Stan Houston. The program is called the Creator Entrepreneur Podcast. Creator Entrepreneur Institute, What It Takes Radio. It's an organization that's going to help you do what you have to do in 2021, and that is you have to be on the radio. That's right. If you want to be successful in 2021, you're going to have to learn how to be on the radio. And if you want more of that story, just let me know. I'll be glad to tell it to you. I'll give you a radio story. Best and blessings to you. we'll be back more and more. We're going to be talking a little bit about how Jesus sells this week. Take care. Bye for now.